Good day, good day. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. And today, look, we have a trifecta with us. We have Lisa, John, and Drew with us. Introduce yourself.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Bergfeld.
I'm Drew Bergfeld.
And I'm John Bergfeld. And we are the local, Lisa and I are the local advisors for a youth organization called DeMolay International. We represent Allegiance DeMolay, which is the local chapter here in the Eureka, Missouri area, which is outside of St. Louis. And we will be at the upcoming Homeschool Your Kids Expo in St. Louis, Missouri in about a week.
Yes. You want to tell us more, Lisa? Or John, who's telling us more?
Drew, you want to talk?
So you might be wondering, so what is DeMolay? DeMolay is an organization for young men between the ages of 12 and 21. We are a leadership, service, and character building organization. DeMolay began in Missouri in 1919 in Kansas City, so over 100 years ago, which is amazing. We are in 20 countries throughout the world, and we are in all 50 states in America. Our core beliefs are kindness, courtesy, patriotism, love of family, cleanness in thought, word, and deed, brotherhood, respect for religion, and education. And we respect all faiths. And so.
Okay. Nice. So is this a day camp or is this a school, not a day camp, but a day school, or is this a overnight like a what am I thinking? Not like boarding school, but like somewhere where you go and stay?
No. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, it's an organization. So
Okay.
kids do their regular daily activities with schooling and such, but this is more of what do we do with our boys on the weekends and in the evenings to build them up? How do we pour into them?
Oh, nice. Okay, so y'all have a day of the week that you meet or a couple days of the week? How does it go?
Our chapter meets on Wednesdays. Different chapters meet throughout the week. Some meet on Sunday afternoon, some meet on Mondays or Wednesdays or Thursdays. It just depends on what that particular group wants to choose as their meeting date.
Okay, awesome. And how long are these meetings typically?
I would say between an hour and a half and 2 hours. The boys run the meetings. They elect their own, like president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and us adult advisors. We just kind of keep the bus on the road. The boys run the meetings. They plan the activities. The president and vice president of each chapter will meet with the adult advisors about once a month to kind of plan the upcoming months. The boy, when he becomes president, develops a 6-month. To allow boys to have more opportunities to be the leader. We usually do like a 6-month term, and before they step up to be the president or of the group, they submit a plan to the advisory board, kind of like, this is what I want to do. These are the fun activities I want to do. These are the community service activities I want to do. This is the philanthropic type stuff I want to do. And we just help them flesh out, all right, if you're going to do a fundraiser, what do you need to do for the fundraiser? Well, we need to do this. Okay, well, what about advertising? How are you going to get the word out? What's this going to cost? How much money do you hope to raise? And it gives the boy an opportunity to take on a project lead. And sometimes the projects that we allow them to feel a little bit, because that's sometimes the best way to learn is like, all right, this didn't go off as I expected. We didn't make $1 million off of this project. Okay, but we made 200. Okay, well, if you're going to do it again, how would you do it better? And we allow the young men to learn and grow, and they learn like our meetings. We kind of use Robert's Rules of Order so that there's a natural flow. It's not chaos. The boys learn that, and they, without us beating it over their heads, they're learning a lot of business and leadership skills. And after they've been in for a few years, they're like, wow, I didn't know that's what you guys are doing. I'm
Oh,
learning all this
nice.
stuff, and they learn a lot. And me professionally, my company sent me to a leadership program for executives, and they spent thousands of dollars. And I'm sitting here thinking, my boys in DeMolay are learning this for free. This is this is what these are lifelong skills that they're learning, and they're learning it while having fun with their friends. They're getting to network and meet other boys. So, Drew, tell them about your experience.
Oh, so my experience in DeMolay, I've been a member for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I have really enjoyed DeMolay. I've made friends all across the United States and in the world. Most specifically throughout the world, I've met people in France. Whenever we went to France a couple years ago for a DeMolay event, celebrating our 100 years. So that was really cool. Another example is I've met people from Tennessee and Nebraska and Oklahoma and Wisconsin. And so I've networked with those young men. And currently, a lot of those people are actually in Florida as we speak for Florida DeMolay. They're doing their annual Escape to Florida, where they host all of DeMolay International to a weekend of just going to all the different parks like Universal, Disney, and all those other parks. So
And you didn't go? Why didn't you
no,
Oh, we
no,
love
not
St.
this
Louis
year.
weather way too much to leave.
Yeah, because St. Louis better stop acting up because, like y'all said, we have an expo in a couple weeks, and I've been looking. I'm like, why is there snow? Why does it say 2 degrees? Why is this like? I can't leave Arizona to go to that. Like, come on now. But I said I'm sending all Arizona heat that way. Like for the next couple weeks, for these next 2 weeks, I'm pushing all heat that way.
It's funny you say that because our international session will be in Phoenix here in June. So a bunch of us.
Oh, then you gonna be pushing St. Louis cold that way.
Yes.
Yes. It's gonna be right a little bit toasty, not the toasty is okay. Know that June is not our peak, okay? So don't be too afraid, but it's gonna be toasty. So, but that is really awesome. So, how many young men are typically in an organization or in a chapter, so to speak?
Typically in a chapter, there can be a range of about 10 to 20 members in a chapter for it to be successfully ran. But we have young men in chapters that, I mean, some chapters can be small as 5. It just depends on your local area. So
And there's chapters out in like Southern California that are up to 70 members. So it really depends on your area. So
Oh, that is dope. Okay, and y'all take trips, like y'all are going all around the world, international, France and whatnot. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. So how do you become a member of this organization?
you can become a member by going to the website beademolay.org. So it's beademolay.org. And you will go to the more information section, and that's how you will find your local chapter and local jurisdiction. And you'll fill out a short form kind of stating kind of what you like, what's the best way to contact you, and within about a week someone should be contacting you with more information.
Okay, well, Drew, because you are the young man who is in school and partaking in this organization, what do you feel this organization is making up for in terms of what you're not necessarily, okay, not necessarily saying what you're not getting from school, but what is it, how is it, you know, like a supplement for things that you may not be learning in the school?
So one area that I've really learned is how basically career readiness. So
Okay.
within my high school, I um, only took one like business class, and that was um, so I wasn't really prepared for like the career aspect, learning how to properly run a meeting, learning how to present in front of people and talk in front of a large crowd. I learned within DeMolay the Robert's Rules of Order, like what we mentioned earlier, and learning how to plan and execute an event properly. So I've learned that through DeMolay. I've also learned how to make a financial plan, knowing how, okay, this is a fundraiser that we want to do. Okay, we need to bring in this much money to pay everything off, and also to have enough kind of kickback to have like a profit from the event. So I've learned plenty with that. So I've also learned how to just have a good time and enjoy everything.
Nice.
Kind of have fun, because this is a fun setting. So it's something outside of school that is really enjoyable. So
nice. What's the ages?
So DeMolay is for young men between the ages of 12 and 21. So we have a wide range of between middle school, high school, and the beginning of college. So
yes, young adults.
There's also a lot of chapters also have a group called Squires, which are for boys younger than what they can join DeMolay. That's from what, 9 to
11. So
okay,
it's a little pre-program. It gives them a taste of what DeMolay is like, but it's a little bit more age appropriate for a 9-year-old. They can't be sitting in a meeting for an hour or so. And some of their activities are a little bit more structured for their developmental and cognitive and social development.
Okay. Do you all have a lot of homeschool kids who partake in this?
Well, we are getting more and more feedback from people here in the homeschool community in Eastern Missouri. So I've been working with some of the different groups. And again, we're so grateful that we're going to be able to be at the Homeschool Your Kids Expo here in a few weeks. So we are getting our name out there. And I think people are getting more familiar with things.
Nice. And Lisa and John, how did you all become a part of this? Are you all running the chapter that Drew is in, or what's your roles?
So I grew up, my brother was a DeMolay, and so that was way back in the 1900s. And since once I married John, and then we decided we wanted to have kids, and I said, well, I really want our son to be involved with DeMolay. So I introduced it to him, and he was pretty well hooked. He wanted to learn more about the organization, obviously, but when he could see all of these young men, and if I could paint a picture of you for the best DeMolay experience, picture a group of teenage boys. Let's say 100 of them. Put them all in one room. Maybe they're doing a social activity. Maybe they're bowling. Maybe they're axe throwing. Maybe they're playing with Nerf guns, whatever it is. Not one of those boys is on his cell phone. They are having so much fun with each other. They're not busy
in person.
Yes. And they're polite. They're such kind young men. The other day we were at an event in Columbia, Missouri, and I went to grab the trash, and one of the boys says, oh, Mom Bergfeld. By the way, they call us mom and dad. It's not as formal as Mr. and Mrs., but it is a sign of respect. Hey, Mom Bergfeld, let me take care of that for you. 3 boys came up and helped take out the trash. No question.
I love it.
They notice, they pay attention to things. So that's, I think, one of the best parts of seeing these young men develop.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I had no experience with DeMolay prior to Drew getting involved, but I saw how Drew started when he was a squire, and I'll embarrass him here for a second. He was kind of like a tree frog. He kind of hung on to me before this. He didn't want to, he was very much shy. Fast forward about a year and a half, and he's in, excuse me, I'm developing a cold. He's down in Jefferson City for our state convention, and he's presenting to a room in front of 200-300 people. And I'm like, holy cow, this is a kid 2 years ago who wouldn't even make eye contact with someone and talk to them. And now he is standing up here and presenting to this group. and I'm like, I have to get involved. My kid is learning some great things there. And that's where it really, for kids who have a hard time developing friendships, like socializing, this is a safe environment for them to learn to socialize and learn some life skills. One boy who was involved, he referred to it as kind of like Boy Scouts without the camping. So
well, that could be an activity. Y'all can do that.
It can be. Yeah, we're talking about going camping. You know, it's on our.
Not right now. Not right now.
No.
Wait, safety first. Yeah. No. Okay. So, what are some of the activities that you all do, and how often do you do them?
So every state does an annual convention, whether that time of years, that depends on each state. So here in Missouri, our annual convention is over Memorial Day weekend. So that's a weekend where the whole state gets together, has a lot of fun. We do sports activities, we do a lot of fellowship activities, and we just have a lot of fun. Some other activities that we do can include just going to the local amusement park, or axe throwing, or
go-karting, ropes course. Like we said, axe throwing. We had a BB gun tournament once, which was really fun, and the boys had a lot of fun with that. It's whatever the boys want to do.
This is really a boys run organization. They're the ones saying we want to do this, and before we can do an activity, we have to run. If it's something that we've never done before, we just have to get kind of permission to make sure it's covered by our insurance, the corporate insurance. But pretty much it's very rare that we're told that we cannot do it. So I mean, pretty much the boys decide if they want to go snow tubing or skiing. Those are activities that can be done. It's really what that chapter wants to do.
Nice. I love this. So is there a sister club? You know how a lot of organizations have a sister affiliate. Is there a sister club?
Yes, there are two sister organizations. One is Job's Daughters International, and the other is the International Order of Rainbow for Girls.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And we do a lot of joint activities with those organizations as well, because it's always fun to have girls at your party, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, you know, all these young men, like, hey, I'm thinking of the Little Rascals. You know how they had the He-Man Women Hating Club. I know this is not that club, but I'm just saying. Like, where the girls at? Okay, so there is a sister organization, two sister organizations. That's awesome. So when y'all have your annual conferences and everything, do they all come, or y'all get together on that kind of level?
Representatives from those sister organizations show up, and they're always there. They're very visible, and they're a lot of fun to hang out with, right?
Yes.
As well as the officers for our state organization. Drew is one of them. He goes to the sister organizations conventions as well, and those are typically held in June, July, something like that.
Yeah, but we, like, when a chapter is having a fun social event, they'll invite the local sister organizations that are nearby. Like, hey, we're going to go bowling this Saturday night. You're welcome to join us. And it's a great opportunity for boys to learn how to be sociable with the opposite sex in a safe environment. And one of the greatest things, like one of the first mixers that we had, was I was watching all these boys, you know, the boys, typical boys are on one side, the girls are on the other side. And us advisors just kind of had to tell them, that girl really wants you to ask her to dance. And it was great to see these young people starting to interact. And that's like one of the nice things about the organization is it's a safe environment for them to learn.
Yes, that is important. That is important.
You know, education, whatever, you know, we allow, we have kids who go to public, private. We have a few homeschool young men. We really just advocate education, however you feel is the best for you and your family. But we do offer a lot of college scholarships. Drew, you want to talk a little bit about that?
So scholarships are a big part of DeMolay International. For Missouri this year specifically, in 2023, there was about $15,000 given in scholarships to college students, and then internationally since 1951, there's been over $3 million given in scholarships throughout America. So we that shows how big education is within our organization. So and in 2022, there was about $43,000 given by the DeMolay Foundation, which is another portion of DeMolay that gives out all those scholarships to our young men. So
this is really awesome. This is my first time hearing about this organization, so this is pretty cool to learn.
And a lot of the like when Drew was applying for college and applying for scholarships, and he was able to use a lot of the activities he did in DeMolay to really make him more competitive for other scholarships. And he was able to say, hey, I did this, I did that. So it really is a good resume builder for when you're looking at a college or trying to apply for scholarships.
or even for a job. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, tell them about you.
For me, I was able to get one of my first jobs because of DeMolay. This gentleman, he saw that I was a strong, really hardworking young man that he saw was fit for his company. So he was like, "Hey, I have this position open. Would you like it?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." I mean, through DeMolay, I was able to get those connections and get that job. So, and kind of get the help that I need within also the professional world and get those first steps going. So
yes, and that's like building your resume already. You know how a lot of times you're a teenager and jobs want you to have all this experience, and it's like, where do I get this from? Like I just turned 16. But being a part of that, and having, especially with y'all having all the different officer positions and everything, like you really get to build a resume and say, hey, I've done this, I've balanced this sheet, like I've had experience in accounting, I have experience in leadership. So that's really dope. I love that. Have you been the president before?
So within my chapter, local chapter, I've been president for 2 terms, which are 6 months.
Oh, okay. They liked you.
Yes. And then at the state level, I am a state representative. I've been a state representative for about 4 years. And so we're just chugging along and having a lot of fun going around the state of Missouri and helping our local chapters. So
nice. And can I ask, how old are you?
I am 19 years old.
19. Okay. So you have until 21. After that, do you phase to a higher position like with mom and dad, or what do you do?
So once I age out of DeMolay, I'll go on and get my advisor certification and apply through DeMolay International to be one of their advisors for a local chapter. So yeah, and when I do go for apply to be an advisor, I'll have to go through a background check certification. I'll also have to go through extensive training through youth protection programs, and so yeah. Would you like to explain more, Mom?
So yes, all of our advisors are background checked every year. Pardon me. They're also involved in our youth protection program where we are mandated reporters. So this is a huge responsibility being around young people these days, and we have to keep everybody safe. Safety is first and foremost.
And it sounds like y'all are offering a safe space, like a safe space for these young men to come together and be able to.
It is. It's really a safe space. We just recently had a state leaders meeting over like last weekend, and that was a part of it was kind of going over the youth protection requirements, what the state law requires us to report, and just some of the basic stuff. We have to, every year as a chapter, we have to have a kind of a meeting dedicated to youth protection. The chapter is allowed to kind of pick the topic. It could be internet safety. It could be a lot of different terms that our youth just have to deal with nowadays, whether it's bullying or whatever it is. And we have to have a program on it so that the youth are getting some things like, hey, if somebody's creeping you out, you need to tell somebody. So, yeah, we really are about youth protection, keeping everybody safe. We work with the rule of three, which means that an advisor will never go off privately with a boy. It has to always be, if you need to talk to somebody privately, it's two adults to the youth. If you're transporting somebody, it has to be at least an advisor and two youth together. So it's never a one-on-one situation to help keep everybody safe.
Nice. Love that. Love those parameters. Gotta keep it professional. Yes. So Drew, because you are this young body, your opinion matters way more than ours. How important do you feel this is in growth and development and, for a young man growing up in society these days? Because there is a lot, like your dad touched on, there's a lot going on. And, we don't really necessarily get the younger person's perspective candidly in regards to all the things that older people are creating in your, for your help, for your resource, for whatever your development. And it's like, okay, well, is this really helpful? And I know you've already touched on it and touched on some of the skills and just basic, just morality that you've built being a part of this organization. But how important is this, you feel, to like a foundation?
So I feel DeMolay is very important for getting those foundations within. So one area is learning how to dress professionally. At our meetings, we dress professionally, whether if it's just wearing a pair of khakis and a collared shirt to wearing a suit or a tuxedo. So learning how to tie a tie and learning how to properly wear a suit and tux. So that really has helped those foundations, learning how to dress professionally, to be able to just walk into the professional world and kind of look professional. And so another foundation that has really helped me is learning how to public speak. That is a big portion of DeMolay, as I've mentioned earlier. So knowing how to speak in front of hundreds to possibly even thousands of people and not even once stuttering or sorry. So that is another big part of DeMolay that I've really seen help me. So other than that, I think it's just I've learned many life skills within DeMolay, knowing now and then we do some lessons on how to change your car battery, or learning how to change your oil or fix your tail light, or even knowing how to iron your clothes, how to make sure your suit looks professional, knowing how to write out a job application or a scholarship application. We do lessons on all of those things. Knowing how to pay your bills, that's a big one that that my chapter just learned about. We learned how to pay our bills on time and through the different ways. So it's that's another area that I've really learned from DeMolay. I've also learned how to respectfully deal with conflict. In our world, there's been a lot of conflict. And so within DeMolay, I've learned how to acknowledge someone else's personal beliefs and respect them. And I've learned how to see all sides of the story through DeMolay, knowing, okay, while I may have my opinions and they have their opinions, I still respect them for who they are. And we just go on with our life and still are good friends. So
Yes,
Those
I
are
love that. Like Drew, like you kind of did an advertisement there. Like it sounds like you're not just building like sound, human beings, but you're building eligible bachelors and everything. Like, like women are gonna start asking, "Hey, were you a part of?" Like they're gonna have to be, "Hey, like this is a resume. Like this is awesome." Especially the car part, like that is not something that typically, like there are definitely a lot of men out here walking around that do not know how to change a tire, let alone change or check your car battery or anything underneath the hood. So these are all skills that are so needed, and I'm glad that there is an organization that's working to make sure we produce these young people with these skills. I love it.
well, thank you.
Yes, of course. Did you have something to add, Mom?
No, I
No.
just really appreciate watching how we're able to work with these boys as they grow in their formative years.
Yes, this is
It's just
very
a good,
important.
it's a very good nurturing environment. It's fun, it's safe, and the boys enjoy it. You only get out of it what you put into it, and these boys put a lot in, and
Well,
they're
it sounds like
reaping
a
the benefits.
really amazing community. Like, do you feel like extended families? That's what it sounds like. Like y'all are a huge family.
Yeah,
It
and
truly is. Go
like
ahead.
Drew recently started college about a year ago, and the university he is attending is about an hour and a half away from us. And I felt really comfortable him leaving there because there's a chapter in the town where his university is at, and one of the two chapter advisors stepped up and said, "We'll check in on him. We'll make sure he
Aw.
gets off to a good start." And it really was as a parent, it was a safe. It made me feel okay. My son, like the first week or two, I knew that he was going to do well, but it's always reassuring to have somebody who says, "Hey, I saw him on campus today. He's alive and well," even
Right.
though.
Because those calls get a little fewer, especially in the first 2 years. You're like, oh yeah, I do have parents. Let me let me say hey. But yes, no, I love that. That is awesome. Community is so important, and that is the purpose of all this. All like just showing families like this is not a journey. No matter the placement of your child, no matter if they're in traditional school, micro school, private school, homeschool, like community is important. It is always nice to have people that you can connect with, teach with, grow with. I love this. This is awesome.
So you mentioned community, and if I can divert for just 1 second, these young men do a lot of community service. So I know we
Mm.
just had the holidays. Several of them participated in wreaths across America. They have done fundraising for Shriners Hospital, Scottish Rite Hospitals, St. Jude's. What are some of the other ones that they've done? Do you recall?
Those are the main some of the organizations that we've raised money for. We've also during the winter months around the holidays, we do days of comfort where we go, whether if it's making cookies or spending time with say the families at the senior citizens home. We do tons of things to get out in our community and show and give our community the support where they may need it. Whether if it's doing a canned food drive for our local food pantry, or
Mm.
collecting school supplies for our local schools. We do different community service projects based on where we see the need is within our personal community, but also within our larger community where, hey, the next town over is having this event and they need help with this. So, okay, we'll get a group of people together and we'll go and help them out with that, whether if it's cleaning up trash at the local fair, we'll do that, or we'll clean our local parks so that it's a safe place for families to take their children to, cleaning up the trash so it looks presentable. Just wherever our chapter sees a need, we'll go out and help our communities to make our community a better place. So
Nice, nice. Y'all are appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. And y'all are building an amazing network, because I know you all young men go off to do great things, and then y'all can connect with each other while doing these great things and then build on that and continue to make this world a beautiful place. And it's so appreciated. I appreciate y'all being a part of this and continue and speaking and, voicing, being the voice of it all. So that's really awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Before I let you go, I need it's three of y'all. So I need this from each one of you, but three things that you would tell parents in regards to, let me see. I always say homeschool, but y'all don't homeschool. So I try to make it pertaining to something that you are affiliated with, just like raising kids in general. Because Drew, you can speak on this too, because you're an adult now. However, you just got out the house. So you can speak on three things that, you feel that needs to be put into a young person's moral compass, their ethics, their skills in general. What are three things you would like to leave parents with?
I think that for DeMolay, for a parent, you're going to invest time and money into your child some way throughout their formative years. And this is probably the best return on your investment. Because your son is going to make lifelong friendships. The young men that my brother befriended when he was a member, he's still friends with. And I've seen the benefit of that, of him having his own children now. So I'll just keep it at that one thing. Because
no, Lisa, you can't cheat it. Like, you have to give me 2 months. Oh my like, I'm gonna say this real profound one, and then I'm gonna scoot you on out. No, Lisa, I still need some more.
If a young man says, I'm a DeMolay, I would be happy to help him in any way he needs it.
Oh, nice.
I know that I can trust that young man. He will respect his parents. He will respect his friends. He'll be a hard worker. So that's the second thing I'll say. And the third thing, I would say I'm grateful for the opportunities my son has had through DeMolay to serve the community. I'm grateful for the scholarships he's been able to achieve.
Nice, nice, nice.
So for me, I guess the biggest part of DeMolay that I think parents should know about is that DeMolay has given me the confidence to go out and do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. For me, I never thought I would be a state leader, and yet I've served as a state leader for 4 years in a row now. So DeMolay has really given me the confidence just to go out and try some things and get me outside of my comfort zone. And so that is one thing that DeMolay has really helped me to learn. Another one is, I'm going to reiterate it again once more, but really learning how to public speak in front of hundreds of people. That's really helped me within college, within my classes, where I've had to present in front of lecture halls of young men and young ladies, learning how to go out and walk up to someone and say, hey, you want to know more about DeMolay? Just going up to and striking up a conversation, and learning how to talk in other modes without using a phone, without using a video game to talk. So that is one part of the organization where I've really benefited from, is learning how to communicate in person, not over a mode of technology. And a third way is really the friendships that I've really gotten from DeMolay. I've got friends from all across the world, and I know that at any time I can call up any of those of my friends from DeMolay and say, hey, I need help, and they'll show up within minutes and they will help me. So I've really created those lifelong friendships. And so, and like for me, I'm an only child, so DeMolay has given me the brothers that I've needed. So that's really helped me out getting the siblings that I've wanted. So
nice.
And for me, I think a big part of it is we're teaching the boys in an informal setting, lifelong skills that they're not getting elsewhere. Part of our things is we believe in patriotism. Beginning of our meetings, we pledge allegiance to the flag. We talk about it. We do an activity every year where we recognize or honor our military veterans. A couple of our young men after high school joined the military, and we as a group have voted to send them care packages. So we remember them and we keep them engaged. And also what Drew was talking about, and I think this is missing in a lot of ways in our society now, is respecting each other's differences. And one of the things that we do is every year, the president of the chapter, whenever it's their term, is we will go, and it's volunteer, you don't have to participate, but we'll go to a religious service, whatever they pick and decide upon. And it gives the boys understanding of other people's faith beliefs. We've gone to Christian services, we've gone to Jewish services, anything, whatever the boy leading it wants to do. And it helps them understand and accept other people's beliefs and their, life. So that's one of the things that I think a lot of times in society, we're missing that, because everybody is like, well, if you're not like me, then we can't be friends. Well, no. So that's kind of my thing. Just the skills. I sit back and I watch these young men. They come in at 12, 13 years old. And then as I watch them progress through the years, it's like, holy cow, I remember this young man back then. Now look at him. He is, in college now. He wants to be an attorney. He wants to do this. He's able to do that. And I can see how much DeMolay has impacted that, allowed them to achieve where he's at.
Yes. Nice. And tell us once again where we can reach DeMolay.
So for more information about DeMolay, you can go to the website DeMolay, DeMolay.org. Once again, that is BEADEMOLAY.org. And there you'll fill out the information section of the website, and and we'll have someone contact you. So
nice. And do y'all have any social medias?
Yes, we're on Instagram and Facebook at DeMolay International. So there, and so yes, ma'am.
Also, we will be at the Homeschool event on Saturday, January 27th here in St. Louis. We'll have a table there, and you can talk to us more. And if you're local, we can help you get connected to one of the chapters here in the St. Louis metro area. We have approximately 7 local chapters, and we can make sure that there's one closest to your home.
Nice. Thank y'all so much. This is really awesome. Beautiful resource for families to tap into if they're looking for that lovely community for their young men to be a part of and learn some amazing skills, lifelong skills, survival skills, life hack. But yes, please tap into their organization to find out more. And I thank y'all for all that you're doing as an organization. I thank you. And yeah, remember to homeschool your kids.
Thank you.
Thank you
for this
Thank you so much.
opportunity.
Have a good day.
Of course.